Wicked, 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 wicked. Wicked tones, you know.
The exercise people have asked me to do is like, because I break down tricep a lot, so I like a lot of bicep barbell curl. I'm not a fan of straight bar curl at all. I will not use a straight bar. I'll use an easy curl bar like this on most things, because it puts, in my opinion, puts your wrists in a more natural position to curl. Who the fuck's wrists are so supinated that they can just be flat under a bar? Especially if you have any size on you, any type of arm development. It's like very rare that you're able to get here. So to compensate for that lack of movement, probably in bigger guys and in people in general, being able to supinate, what I'll do is I'll tell people to grab on the outer grip and I'll have the wrist forward. So don't be here. I don't want to be in my forearm already. I just want to be relaxed. So primarily the weight of the bar is on this knuckle. If I put weight on this knuckle, my hand has no choice but to supinate. So even if I push on my finger here, I can't roll my hand over, right? My hand is now flat because the pressure's over here on this angle. It's not evenly across. It's tipping out on this edge. That's why all these idiots, not idiots, I shouldn't say that, it's rude. So anyway, these idiots that do this, they take dumbbells and they do this shit. They're like, you gotta pour it out, man. You gotta turn it and scoop it. You gotta turn it and scoop it, and you see them like the dumbbells like this, and they're curling. You gotta move through the dumbbell, like you gotta keep pouring it out. It's like, no you don't, you fucking dimwit. Just fucking hold your hand in a position where the pressure's on the like making your hand supinated. I don't need to torque more and turn my elbow in, which then in turn rocks my shoulder in and impinges on my bicep curl. So these like, it's like, it's the dumbest shit ever. Like, and it's stuff that just keeps getting passed down from generation to generation. This like hardcore fucking, just work out smarter. Think about movement and do it properly, right? So if you have a hard time supinating or getting your wrist to be flat, let your arm hang in front of you. So here there's a lot of pressure, right? I can't get my elbows in enough. Here I can turn my elbows in. If they're open here, I can tuck them in. And I can stand up. So when I stand up, I'm not postured. I'm not here. I'm rolled into my lat. My lat is now open and I'm tucked in here. Low shoulders, not here. Low. All the weight's down in my hand, right? So when I set like this, I'm in this low position and I go to curl. I'm gonna swing, so I'm imagining the bar's on the ground, so I'm literally picking up from the ground and I'm rocking up through. So it's my back, my hip rocks forward, there's no bend in my knee, my hip rocks up, and I curl elbow straight up through flat hand. Not this, at the top. I'm not curling my wrist, I'm pulling this thing to me and doing this like rotation thing where I'm like this at the top. My wrist is punched in. It's flat. So I'm caught on bicep here because wrist is flat and elbow's in tight. I'm hugging my body. I break elbow here, rock. Rock. Up. Shoulder stays behind my chest. My chest stays in front. Up through, right? So the idea, we don't need to get height on a curl to get bicep. We need just bicep to contract. So I just want to swing to here. Don't get shoulder involved and start doing this. Just rock up on bicep, rock down. Rock down, we rock forward, the shoulder rocks forward a bit. I press back through my hip to get the shoulder down and roll out of the way. So everything is dependent on the fact that my back, so my posterior chain of my back, when I lock here, is locked down. So from the back of my neck to the base of my spine here is one piece moving with the flex of my elbow. So I'm rocking down. Rocking, at no point do I go like this. I just break elbow, rock. So it's like I got a board against my back. It's, you know the thing where you hook it around your neck and you put your arms on it? Yeah. And people do the Arnold curls like this? That's what that is. That's why they made that. To teach you that you're supposed to keep your arm moving with your body. Because in that thing, you're even more punched forward here and you're forced to keep your elbows here. So when you curl and the thing is scooping your arm here, I'm digging back against it and I'm curling. It's making you curl perfectly. That's the point of it. But if you learn how to curl properly, you don't need to do that. And you don't have to have this thing pulling on your neck going like this, right? So just lock in, get your shoulder, your massive fucking shoulder, most of you guys, because you've overtrained delts, because delts do everything for you. Chest day they're working, arm day they're working, shoulder day they're working, shoulder day they're getting it, like even more. So it's like tuck in here, be long. I'm like limp armed. My arms are noodles right now. I can do whatever I want. The only thing tight is my hand. So when I tuck in elbow here and I rock up to posture where I feel my elbows grab my side, then I lean forward and I'm chest up through. Up. Squeeze down, relax. Move with the flow of your bicep. As it's squeezing, we're rocking up. As it's letting down, I'm rocking forward. So I'm massaging on that bicep. Catching at the bottom, moving. Moving. I don't need to do 150 pounds. Yeah. And like just at these guys that pick up dumbbells, they're like, oh, it's a drag curl. And they'll like put their shoulders back and like, it's like, look where the position of my shoulder is doing all the work. It even hitches when I curl. My shoulder, my front delt pumps forward. It rocks up through. Even though I'm throwing my shoulders back, my shoulder I'm curling to my shoulder. So all I'm doing is literally putting my hand like this and slapping. And assuming that this bending of my arm is just gonna work my bicep. Like, of course it is. In this position, you're gonna feel your bicep, but it's gonna get fucking exhausted just from stabilizing. I'm not even gonna be like flexing. So people need to understand, like, you need to get these into these positions to allow your little tiny bicep, which is probably this big on most people, to work. Instead of this massive bowling ball delt you have. Or these fucking traps that are up in your ears. Anybody looking sees that I'm curling 100 pounds, but my bicep's this fucking big when I get done. Like literally you're a massive individual and your arms are 14, 15 inches at best. Because there's zero development. And you'll notice it now that you guys will walk around, you'll see these big motherfuckers. They're great development everywhere. There's nothing wrong with their structure, right? And you'll see, look at them and watch. The tricep will be flat and the bicep will be a little bump. And there'll be massive, massive forearm. Brachial will be like, literally they can't rotate their arm because everything they do is from here. So all this curling like this, where I'm just pinning here, I'm immediately on forearm and brachial, so I'm just here. As you can see, they pinch at the top. So if I swing up here and I pinch, what's getting worked? I'm just here. It's like a hammer curl, right? So you're getting massive here, forearms are getting worked, biceps, like a fucking straw, a paper straw. Save the turtles. So a lot of gyms have this. I'll do 2 arms sometimes for different reasons, but this is a great machine for guys who, like we've been talking about, have this shoulder overdevelopment and like lack of arm development, because it's forcing us into the position that we want on everything where our biceps alone. So my shoulder's lower than my elbow, so I can't fuck this up, right? If I'm rocking here, the best thing to do is elbows over, triceps digging into edge. So there's pressure here. So it's literally like I'm doing this. So when I'm curling, all I'm doing is sliding hand to face and letting bicep roll up into me, right? So I want to just mimic that when I have a weight in my hand. So I sit here and post. If I don't sit into it, I look away from it. And I'm postured up, so shoulders down, chest is up this way. So I'm gonna rock forward, lean my weight. So my arm's gonna rotate a bit inward, and then I'm gonna rock through. And I'm rocking. So when I go to curl, it's weight down into here, and then scooping and sliding, flat wrist. So flat wrist is squeezing behind my ear. Never gonna get behind your ear, but the idea is to angle yourself so that this is behind. I'm getting away from here. I'm not here going, I wanna slide to me. So I'll let that arm lengthen and then retract. So I'm almost pulling back with my body and sliding to me. So I'm not pulling, I'm squeezing and sliding that hand. Just like I had nothing in it, I'd be here and going, flexing my bicep. Open hand, right? So it's just a way to get the arm off the body more and really squeeze and focus on that bicep. When you're doing bicep curls, you shouldn't be thinking about bringing your hand like from A to B. You should literally be thinking of every bicep curl like I'm trying to flex my bicep like nothing's in my hand. So whether there's 80 pounds on there, 30 pounds, or 20 pounds, all I'm trying to do is like, this is the angle, I'm trying to squeeze my bicep and flex. So I can do it with nothing in my hand. I can create tension. So you need to create that tension on your own. Now have a weight in your hand, use that added tension and squeeze up through. Don't all of a sudden get weight in your hand and go. Like if you can't contract your bicep here and peak it, you're never going to be able to do it with a weight in your hand. So just mimic that movement with now a weight in your hand, 20 pounds, 30 pounds. Do you understand? So it's like, once guys get out of this mentality, and girls, because girls do it too, girls' biceps curls are like fucking, like wet noodles flinging around. They're never shown how to do it properly by guys, right? Or people that they train with. Arms aren't really a priority for most. Some girls in bodybuilding have massive fucking arms, way better than my arms, but in general, girls who are just doing bicep for fun or arm for fun, they're not showing the fundamentals, right? So they also don't want massive arms, but you know what I mean? It's also because it's trickling down from the people that are showing them, because they're like, if you want big arms, it's big weight. I'm just like, it's like, see these fucking guys on Instagram or fucking whatever, and the YouTube videos, and like pick up like 70 pounders and like, ooh, ooh. Some of them wrap them, like, ooh, ooh. And then they're like literally turning like, it's like, that's not a fucking bicep curl, guys. That's a hip thrust. It's literally a hip thrust. Like, I don't know what you think you're getting out of that, other than like on video it looks cool. Oh, you curl 70s. It's like, yeah, but if you put the dumbbell here off your body and I told you to curl that 70, it would go. It wouldn't even move that much. But I gave you, so you have no help from a swinging body, and you just went here. Boom, right? It's the same thing. You can do it over here. Top recommendation I have for guys who are struggling with bicep development is to do their concentration curls off the back of a concentration bench. This is a steeper angle, right? I don't want to be like this front angle. It's like I can't get leverage. The weight's always pulling me forward and I'm rocking back on it, on this angle, right? It's fucking stupid. Like if you can do a very light weight and control the motion, it's fine. But most guys aren't doing that. They're picking up a 40 pounder and they're fucking, like they tuck into this fucking bench and they'll hug this thing like it's fucking, like they're a lost puppy. And they're hugging this thing and they're like, and this thing's like rocking. When it goes out, you just see the strain on the bicep. It's just ready to boom. Do you know what I mean? Because that weight's like falling away. Like if something's falling away from me forward and I try to pull back here, that leverage is shit. I'm driving down into the bench here and I'm pulling here. I'm not even getting bicep. It's like I'm driving lat and shoulder down and I'm swinging this thing up. We don't fucking want that. We want bicep development, right? So think here. So I want to hang. I'm going to do this with my fucked up bicep because it's a better arm. Try not to avert your eyes. Yeah. So if I'm here and I'm hanging, the idea is to put weight onto here and create length in my arm. I don't want to short this and go here. I want to be long here and I want to almost be like head is away from my shoulder. I don't want to be buried. I want to be relaxed. So my arm is motionless down here. Just my hand can move, right? So when I go to move up, I rotate to where I can and I scoop. I rock up. Boom. So when I go to curl, you can see from here, I'm moving weight back into the bench. So I'm pushing this tricep back into the bench, scooping hand. Scooping. And again, we're scooping on this knuckle. So I'm rotating here to where I feel pressure on that index finger knuckle, and I'm rocking up. That's my natural line for me. If I was trying to be way out here and go like this, it's like, it's just fucking awkward as shit, right? And I don't want to be in here because I don't want to come across and get more forearm. I want to completely lay that bicep out this way and I want to curl it. The same way I would when I hit a shot, I'd be here, right? Guys hit shots here and then they pop up. A lot of girls do that. They throw out and then they pop because that's your bicep hitting properly. You wouldn't hit your bicep on stage like, you mean you wouldn't curl your biceps like this. Maybe in some funky, weird, like classic style shot, but front double, no. You're wide open in your arms. My arms are rotated forward, my elbows forward, my bicep is grabbing. So that's what we're mimicking here, just over, creating length, rolling through that whole arm. So letting that bicep lengthen, letting it shorten. You should think about that while you're doing it too, is that when I'm hanging here, I can feel that my bicep is lengthened. So I can feel that pressure down there. So I'm gonna pull this bicep back up. So I'm gonna flex and squeeze it to the point where I can and then relax. Squeeze. It's not about just going. All right. So you're gonna have to slow down. You're gonna have to massively slow down movements to understand and catch the tempo and the pressure of the movement, right? If I don't find that tension, I can't curl. I can curl here with nothing in my hand and do the same thing. So I'm doing the same thing with nothing in my hand that I do with something in my hand. Rocking, trying to flex this bicep. I just add a stimulus now, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, work my bicep. You guys do that stuff, getting this arm off the body when it comes to bicep and tricep, the development of your arm will be light years ahead of what it was in a few months, especially if you take the time to really understand how to flex the bicep or the tricep when you're training it. It's not about, like we say in everything, it's not about A to B. I'm not trying to fucking just push this thing down and curl this thing up. My arms are pumped. It's like, are they though? Because your forearm looks like it's about to fucking cramp. And your shoulder looks like it's fucking still pinched forward, right? A lot of big guys have that problem. Guys more muscular guys have this problem because everything leads to different problems, right? So they're pressing shit. So the pressing is very rolled forward. Everything is like anterior delt, driving here. So this overdevelopment of anterior delt now puts them in this position, which now turns this arm forward and makes them like this. So when you tell them to supinate, they're like you can't, if I'm here, I can't supinate. It's impossible. If I'm here, I can. But if I'm jerked forward, I'm jacked forward here in my front delt, and you tell me to supinate, that's why these guys, when you get them to supinate, they're like this. And they're curling like this. Like literally. That's not even me like trying to be exaggerating. That's fucking legit what happens. So that's why when you have this problem, it's okay, well, let's get your arms off your body. So now they're freer to move. You're not as impinged because you're here. I can just roll here and then tuck. So I end up hunched. It's because when you're up tall, you're here. So we want to be here and just relax and let that move on the bicep. It can be as simple as also, Phil Heath, the one I got this from, I'm sure other people do it. Phil Heath, you can argue all you want. Phil Heath probably has the best arms ever in bodybuilding. Like complete arm. Those things are fucking stupid. I wish I had half that arm. I wish I had a quarter of that arm. But this guy, I watched him in one of the training videos. He goes over to the rack, like that rack over there. Fucking arms like massive. It's bigger than my head. And you guys all preaching about weight and this and this and this. This guy goes over to the thing, probably grabbed about this weight, 40, 50 pounds, 60 pounds. Literally stood there and let his hand, shoulder relax and hang relax. Just here. And as you can see, that's all bicep. There's no swing. It's just breaking my elbow, scooping, keeping my weight down over the midline of my body. So I'm centered right over the thing here. I'm not leaning forward, I'm not leaning back. My weight's on my elbows, basically. I'm rocking. You can see in the mirror, it just grabs bicep, squeezes. So there's no swing. It's low elbow, elbow stays here, scoop, bicep. That's all it is. That's one of the best exercises you can do as well. You're gonna look retarded, or what people do. That's all right. You gotta stand with your shoulders back. It's like, no, sometimes when you're certain sizes or have different issues, you're gonna have to come out of posture, like we've talked about before. I'm not in posture on any of my bicep curls. I'm not in posture on my tricep extensions either. When I'm pulling them in on here, I'm set forward. I'm not. If I did that, my arms would be pushing out in front of me. I gotta get the weight over the bar. So then my weight is displaced in my mid-back and my lats, and I'm pushing through here. There's different tension points. This is the midline of my body, across around my body, my tension's there. So I'm coming up to my tension line, shoving. squeezing, squeezing. I'm not putting my tension line up in my shoulder and going. There's different places to lock down, right? That's what people need to understand. It's not as simple. Everyone thinks arms is simple. How hard could it be, right? Just fucking pick up the dumbbells and swing them around. It's like, but there's more to it than that. There's more to it on everything. There's way more to it, especially in terms of if you want to move efficiently and want to really develop, because you'll get to a point where it's like we said before, you'll develop doing weird shit. But then it'll come to the point where you're like, man, I've come so far. Now I'm lost because I got a great back, let's say. I got a great chest. I got no arms, like literally. Or guys that have that problem with like hamstrings, they can't connect. So like I got these fucking massive quads that whatever. When I turn to the side, and straight as a board. Turn around to the back, it looks like a fucking child's hamstrings because they're just going with the weight thing again. Your number one indicator that you're doing too much weight on something and nothing good is coming from it is you keep putting the weight up and nothing changes. So do the opposite. Put the weight down, concentrate more, and watch things change. It's not rocket science. The heavyweight shit isn't working. It's time to lower it. You don't even have to go to half the weight or quarter of the weight. Just lower it a bit and see if you can connect more to the muscle you're training. That's our message of today.